Hello, this is Masamaki21 here with another video update for you guys. Today is August 3rd, 2012. So let's jump right into this by saying thank you all for subscribing to the channel. I actually reached 500 subscribers, which is not that big of a deal, but every 100 or so subscribers I like to say thank you and let you guys know that I am trying my best to do these Let's Plays, and I'm putting my heart and soul into these. I really enjoy doing them. I like playing the games. I like doing the commentary. I like doing the voiceovers, like for Yakuza 3. And I like putting out decent quality videos for other people to enjoy. So I'm glad you liked my videos, and I hope you continue liking them in the future. And I will continue to supply you guys with as much great quality as I can. So once again, thank you. Let's get into this, and let's talk about my current Let's Plays, see what's going on in that. I've actually finished 8 Let's Plays total, and I'm pretty much going to be on my 9th once I finish Tulip. So I hope you guys are enjoying Tulip. I love playing the game. I'm mad that I'm about to finish it because I was really enjoying it. It's like one of those wacky, weird games. And just to say this, if you guys know any weird, out-of-place games like Tulip, I'm pretty sure there's not much games like Tulip, but if you know like weird games in general, just let me know and I'll play them. I know a lot of people are gonna say Beautiful Katamari and stuff like that. I've played those, and I mean they got their weird level, but it's not the type of weird where to the point of kissing men and animals. It's not. It doesn't have that weird level. So let's talk about the current Let's Plays. Yakuza 3 Ultimate Commentary Edition in HD, the best commentary experience you will probably get out of me in terms of Let's Plays, because I'm doing all these voiceovers for all these characters, because there's a lot of reading in the game. So if you haven't checked this Let's Play out, do yourself a favor, check it out. The game is also really good. Don't just check it out because my voice is in it. Check it out because for the gameplay, because the game is really good. And I think I'm at like my 60-something video. I'm not too sure. And I'm probably about halfway through the game, so there's a lot more videos to come, and a lot more content to show you guys. So if you haven't, as I said, if you haven't checked it out, do yourself a favor, check this game out. You don't even have to check my video out. Just look up the game, because I've been trying to push this game on to people for a while now, because it's a really good game. And I don't play shitty games. I play shitty games. I lied. But when I suggest games to people, I don't suggest shitty games to people, I should say. I suggest decent games that are fun to play and enjoyable. I mean, if you don't like reading a lot, you might not like it, because there's a lot of reading. But if you're that type of person who loves to read books every 10 to 15 minutes, Yakuza 3 is your choice. Let's see, what else? Tulip. Tulip, I already said, about to be on the last part, if the content fits, because I don't know how long this final stretch of the game is going to be. It might just be enough to cram into one video. It might not. If it's not, I'll be glad if it's not. I'd love to do maybe 10, 15, 20 more videos, but I'm obviously at the end and I can't. So I could just like run around in a circle for like the next 5 to 10 hours, and you guys probably get mad at me for that, but I'm not going to do it. I'm thinking about it, but I'm not going to do it. So Tulip's at the end, and as I said, it's going to be my 9th completed Let's Play, and I hope you guys are enjoying that one as well. That's a really interesting game made by, I think it's published by Natsume. I think it was developed and published by Natsume, the people who make Harvest Moon, and I'm also a fan of the Harvest Moon games. I love playing those as well. And yeah, so if you haven't checked that Let's Play out, go ahead, check it out. It's worth your time, trust me. Moving on, let's talk about I almost said Dead Island, I'm sorry. Decay. It's my 3rd current Let's Play on this list of current Let's Plays that I'm doing, that I'm actually looking at right now. Decay is that point-and-click horror game that I downloaded off of Xbox Live Marketplace, and I got a little frustrated about the price, because when I first got it, the first part was 80 Microsoft points, and because of the price and the fact that it was a point-and-click horror, and I like point-and-click games and I like horror games, and I thought it was a nice combination plus the price. So I thought, hey, this might be a decent Let's Play to do, and it's fairly cheap, and you get to see genuine screams out of me, because I do scream a few times as I'm playing it and yell like a little girly man. So this might be fun to do. People might actually enjoy it. So I started it, did the first part. When I went on to the second part, I found out that the price jumps up. I don't remember if it was 400 Microsoft points, 560 or 800. It's one of those three that the price jumps up to, and I was like, what? I bought the second part, but I'm kind of iffy on the third part because I don't want to pay that price again. I mean, it's a decent indie game, but the price that they're asking from me is just, I don't feel that it's the 80 Microsoft points, that's a nice price to me. Higher than that is just like but yeah, so I'll work on that as soon as I got like Microsoft points to just pour down the drain. But until then, it's just gonna sit on the current Let's Play shelf. I want to get it out of the way, really. I'm thinking of just dropping it. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think, if I should just drop it or not. I don't think a lot of people even watched it, but people who do, if you do watch that Let's Play, tell me what you think, and if you think I should drop it or not. If you want to see me scream like a little girl, feel free to say yes, and I'll keep playing it. And speaking of screaming like a little girl, I actually played, or tried to play, a Fatal Frame 4 today, and got to a part where I screamed like a little girl, and the game actually froze, so it kind of upset me. I would be playing it right now on my live stream channel, but it froze, and I'm gonna have to try and fix the problem. But anyway, moving on, The Walking Dead is my fourth. That should be in my postpone list though, because I obviously can't continue it until the next part comes out. Anything in my postpone list goes there for reasons of not being able to complete it. That goes for Fear 3 also, because Fear 3 is also a current Let's Play I'm doing. But I can't do that unless my friend is here with me, because it's a co-op game and me and him, we're doing it together. So if he's not here, I can't work on it. And The Walking Dead is basically the same way. If the third part isn't out, I can't work on the Let's Play. And the third part won't come out most likely until like the next 2 to 3 months. So, or that's how they've been releasing it. And that's pretty much it. I basically talked about Fear 3, can't do that. The Walking Dead, can't do that. But it's a really good game. And I suggest, if you haven't seen that Let's Play either, check it out. And while you're at it, check out all my other Let's Plays. Godfather 2 was the first one I worked on. I also got Obscure 1 and 2 that I worked on with my friend. I got Mr. Mosquito 2. That is another very weird game that you might enjoy. It's about a mosquito sucking blood. You play as the mosquito, you suck blood. Saints Row the Third, which was very disappointing, since Saints Row 2 was pretty great. Saints Row the Third was pretty much a slap in the face for anybody who likes Saints Row 2. Dead Island, which is pretty much a slap in the face if you like zombie games. Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, that's like a drop kick to the face. If you like zombie games and Resident Evil, that's a drop kick. And Max Payne 3, that game was so-so for me. I was on the fence for that. The multiplayer is great though, don't get me wrong. I love the multiplayer in that game. But the single player experience was very linear, and I'm not 100% for linear games. Like, linear games are starting to get boring to me. So I did enjoy the game, but the linear single player it kind of dropped it for me. But the mechanics work great. The slow motion is excellent in multiplayer. They did a very great job of deploying the slow motion in multiplayer, and I have fun just diving off of a building and just shooting like a bunch of people who are down there, while most likely dying when I hit the ground. But so yeah, moving on to the next part of this video. This is when I usually talk about stuff that I've read and watched and seen over the past days to weeks. So first off, I've been watching a few YouTube videos, watching a few videos on a few channels. I've been watching The Angry Joe Show and Event Status, and on both of these channels they pretty much talk about stuff that I feel that you guys need to watch and see. Like Angry Joe basically talks about Capcom in a few videos. He also does reviews, and he does videos of him playing certain games, which are also fun to watch. He did a video of Resident Evil 6, and I got to see some Resident Evil 6 action. It's very, I don't know. If you guys want to check it out, go ahead. Type in Angry Joe Show, and Resident Evil 6 will pop up, obviously. So he was talking about Capcom and how they release like more iterations of the same type of game and charge you pretty much the same price. He was basically saying they give you more, they charge you for less content. Like, they'll give you less content for like basically the same price as the original. And They did it with Marvel vs. Capcom and how they came out with Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. They did it with the Street Fighter versus Tekken, or Street Fighter X Tekken. They did it with that too. How the characters were on the disc. They have disc lock content, DLC disc lock content, and like they put the DLC on the disc, and you're not actually downloading the DLC. It's on the disc already. So people are getting angry at that. I have to agree with them. It makes no sense. If it's on the disc and you paid for the disc, why are you paying for more? And a lot of people don't know about this. It's crazy. So like anytime I see anybody on my friends list playing any of those games, I'm just like, be careful, man. Don't buy that DLC. It's already on the disc. Go to Capcom and tell them give it to you for free. It's on that disc. You paid for that disc. So that's what they both basically talk about. Angry Joe's talking about that. He does his reviews, and his reviews are very, very unbiased. So if you're that type of person who watches reviews on YouTube or whatever and read them in Game Informer or stuff like that, obviously reviews are opinions, but a lot of places they get paid to give decent reviews, and a lot of the reviews are very biased because they get paid. So the reviews aren't actually genuine. The game is most likely bad, but it has a high score anyway. Angry Joe doesn't do that. He does very decent reviews, and he even says, hey, if you still get a choice of going out and playing the game, just because he reviews it and says it's a high score or a low score doesn't mean that shouldn't deter you from buying the game and trying it out yourself, which I think makes a lot of sense. Just because you saw a high score of a game doesn't mean you should instantly run out and buy it. And the same goes for a low score. You see a low score, still give it a try. I mean, you don't have to go out and spend $60 on the game. Maybe just wait for the price to drop, because if it's a really bad game, the price will drop like that. Or you can just rent it and try it for like a day or two, and if you don't like it, send it back, because you never know. You might actually like the game, you might enjoy it, and you might eventually go out and buy it. So Event Status talks about the same thing, but he goes more in depth. He talks about how EA does it with their online passes, and he talks about stuff in the game, stuff that are happening in the gaming community. He talks about basically gaming news. He also does sports news. Like he has a sports show as well as a gaming show on his YouTube channel, which is cool. I'm not 100% into sports, but I have watched a few of his sports videos, and he has this sort of I don't know how to say it. Like when you listen to him talk, it's just like you just want to sit there and listen to him. It's not like you hear him talking and you're just like, I don't want to hear anymore. This is like, he draws you in by what he's saying, like anyone should if they're talking, because if they're not talking about things that are of interest, you kind of get bored of the conversation. If you're sitting in front of somebody and they're talking to you, if they're not talking of something that's interesting, or interesting to you at least, you're just going to kind of go, and then just walk away from them. But like he does it in a way where it's interesting to me. Like, I'm not into sports, but I will watch his sports videos because how he goes about talking about them. He's really passionate about the stuff that he talks about. So it just makes it more worthwhile to watch. And he does, as I was saying, he does sports, he does games, he talks about gaming news, he gives updates on games that are coming out and all that stuff. And it's a pretty great channel, both of them, Angry Joe Show and Event Status. I suggest you guys check out both of those channels. I'll even put a link to both of them in the description if you haven't seen them already. And if you haven't seen them, you're missing out. So go check them out. No excuse. YouTube is filled with a lot of amazing crap you're probably missing out on. So I definitely say, hey, check these guys out. They're pretty decent channels to watch. Pretty decent videos on said channels. But anyway, I thought of doing like segments like how they do also. I attempted to do some reviews and it kind of botched, but it was like my very first attempt at a review, so it's basically me speaking from the mouth, just saying my likes and dislikes of the game. And next time I'll try to organize it a little bit better so it's not me jumping all over the place talking about different stuff. But I'll try to do something of that nature in the future again. And as I'm doing right now, I thought my Let's Play updates, I thought I might turn it into something how Event Status does, talking about games and information. And I'm going to pretty much start with this video. I was actually reading some things earlier in the week, and actually today. I was reading about how Shenmue's HD collection was done for over a year, and that pretty much shocked me and upset me because Sega hasn't put it out yet. But I have a feeling the reason why they're doing it is because Shenmue 2 was actually very expensive for them to develop and get out, and seeing as it didn't sell too well, especially in the States, they were kind of scared to even attempt to do a Shenmue 3, so they pretty much shelved the whole franchise. And it's, as you can see, they're coming out with an HD collection. It's already done, so obviously it's coming out on PSN and Xbox Live Marketplace, or arcade, whatever you want to call it. And I'm betting if both of these sell well, I'm hoping they bundle them, because I'll buy both of them in a bundle just like that. I will. But if they don't, I'll still buy them anyway. So I'm guessing if they sell real well, they'll probably definitely put in work for Shenmue 3, and then we'll get our Shenmue 3. I also read in that same article, I don't have the links for them anymore. I wish I did. I clear out my browser history like every day. Porn reasons. No, I'm kidding. But I clean out my browser history every once in a while because I don't like clutter. Clean out my cache and clean off my hard drive of all gunk that I don't need every once in a while, every month or so, 2 to 3 weeks. But anyway, in the same article, they actually talk about what's it called? Jet Set Radio, or was it? Yeah, it was Jet Set Radio, an HD remake. I almost said collection. But unfortunately, it's not Jet Set Radio Future, which contains my favorite character, Yo, who wasn't in the Dreamcast version. I have no problems with the original version. I just love playing as Yo. So it's a great thing that they're coming out. Like, Sega's been pushing out so many of their old games, and they're making HD remakes of stuff, and I find it great that they're catering to their old fans who played all their old stuff. Like, I used to play Golden Axe. And if you guys don't remember, Golden Axe is that game where it goes, rise from the grave and rescue my daughter. And you get, like, power-ups and you turn into, like, a wolf guy. And at one point you get powers to turn into a dragon, stuff like that. Or, like, a lizard guy or something like that. And, like, the more powers you get, the more muscular you get. And you can, like, shoot fire fists and stuff like that. It was a pretty decent game. And it was 2 players. And you guys know how much I love co-op games. So, I used to love playing that game back in the day with my friends. And the fact that it's on the marketplace and PSN for people to buy is pretty great. And some of the other ones too. Sega's been putting out their old collection games, and that's nice. There's Sonic and all that. I'm not a huge Sonic fan, but I do indulge in Sonic from time to time. But I'm not a huge Sonic fan. But anyway, so they're pushing those out. I can't wait to see them. They're also so I want that Shenmue 3 like so badly. I want the HD collection. Once the HD collection comes out for Shenmue, I will start my Let's Play of Shenmue. In more news, I actually read some other stuff involving Resident Evil 6. Now, I'm a huge fan of Resident Evil 6. I love zombie games. Resident Evil is like one of my favorite zombie game franchises. Not a lot, actually, but Resident Evil is one of them. I grew up on playing zombie games. I used to play Zombies Ate My Neighbors way back in the day. I used to love that game. And I think I have it on my computer, actually, as an emulated version of it, just so I can play it from time to time when I get bored. But, so yeah, I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. Can't wait for Resident Evil 6. It looks promising. I love co-op games. One of the reasons why I can't pass it down is because I'm a huge co-op fan. I'll give any game that looks appealing in terms of co-op a try, which is why I gave Operation Raccoon City a try, because it was 4-player co-op, and I thought, hey, that should be awesome, 4-player co-op, and I got slapped in the face, drop kicked, and all that good stuff. So, but it was, I mean, it wasn't, I can't even, I'm trying to give the game praise in terms of co-op, and I can't even do that. Which is why I got Dead Island. Zombies and co-op are 2 things I just can't pass down. I just can't. I'm sorry. I'm a bad person when it comes to that kind of combination. But anyway, I was reading an article. There's also, I'm pretty sure there's trailers for this too. There's a new game mode that they've put out called Agency Mode or Agents Mode, something like that. And basically it involves, like, you could be playing your campaign mode, and a friend or just a random person can come into there, and they'll be the opposing monsters that you face. Like they'll be on the enemy team and they can pretty much screw up your game. And I was like, what? That'd be awesome. That's a cool. In my mind, that would make a cool game mode. I have a feeling because it was also in Mind Jack. I never played Mind Jack, but I saw the review that Angry Joe did, and it was a really decent idea that that they implemented in that game, but they did it horribly. And from what he says, it was a pretty bad game. But it seems like Resident Evil 6 is trying to do the same thing, and I'm hoping they implement it properly and it turns into a great game mode. So I can't wait to see that. And they also have this new campaign, which is going to be a campaign for Ada. And basically after you finish the other 3 scenarios, you unlock hers and you can play as her in her own scenario. So I'm guessing you get the behind the scenes of why she's doing what she's doing and such. So at first I was mad about it, but now I'm kind of getting into it. The thought of it. Reason why I was mad is because like the game, pretty much Resident Evil 6 is built up on co-op now. Just like how Resident Evil 5 was pretty much a co-op game, they built it from the ground up, co-op, and working together. Ada Wong's campaign is single player, and that kind of threw me off. I was like, why the hell would they make it single player if everything else is multiplayer? You might as well just make everything else single player too. Make more sense, make it more horror then. But that's how they're doing it, and I mean it threw me off. It threw me through a loop, and they did the same thing with Dead Island, which was kind of stupid too. Like you got your whole 4-player co-op mode, and I mean I guess it makes sense for Ada to not have a partner because she's pretty much working alone in what she's doing. I mean you can throw just a random person in there from the Resident Evil universe to work with her. I don't care who it is. It could be anybody. Bring back somebody who died and let them be on her team. But the Dead Island did the same thing, and basically you got your, just to let you guys know, I pre-ordered that game and everything. Got the special edition, even though the case for the special edition sucks. Got the special edition, got the DLC codes, you know, for the Ripper, which is actually like the worst mod in the game, and for the Bloodbath Arena, which I never actually played. And then there was the Rider White campaign, which came out after both of those 2 DLCs came out. So that came out like maybe a few months, like a month or 2 or 3 after the game was released. And I never actually played it. I didn't even bother. I found out that it was single player, and that just turned me off from the game, because I was like, why would they do that? Why would they make, I mean, yeah, he's by himself, but you can like come up with some characters and throw them in there that he worked with when he was doing all this, because I'm pretty sure he couldn't do all of this by himself. So there's got to be somebody helping him out. But no, they make it a single player experience. And I mean, I have nothing against single player, but when you build a game up on co-op and multiplayer, throwing in a single player mode like that, where it's story driven just like the other one, like the other mode, and just having one player go through it, it just sucks for me. Just I keep running it through my head. I'm just like, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't. And the same goes for Resident Evil 6. It just doesn't work. I mean, I'll probably play through the mode if I get the game and finish all the scenarios, but I'm still a little iffy on that. So that I got one more thing I actually want to talk about, which is about Two Worlds 2. I've been playing Two Worlds 2 for like the past month or so. I should have did a let's play of it. It would have made the game last a lot longer. I think I finished the game in like 2 to 3 weeks. At least the single player. The single player is fairly challenging at points, but I talked about it in my review. So if you wanna, I'm not gonna go into great detail, but if you wanna hear what I have to say about Two Worlds 2, feel free to check out my let's review video involving Alpha Protocol and Two Worlds 2. But I'll put a link in the description if you actually want to check it out. So I actually read this other article on Game Informer. I was playing Two Worlds 2, to be honest. I wanted to play the multiplayer today. I was live streaming it and everything. I was like, hey, I'm gonna get ready to play the multiplayer, have some fun. And I load up the game, go into multiplayer. There's like no low level people in this game, and it kind of turns me off to see people like level 50, 40, 30. There's like no, because you start off level 1 and I'm like, I just want some people to play with. Like, I hate playing games where you got your low level person and then everybody else is high level, and then everybody else, that sucks the fun out of the game. When you're playing with like really high level people and they can kill things with like one hit, I hate that so much. So I was a little upset that I couldn't find a game with someone at level 1 or anywhere near level 1. I couldn't find anybody at level 1. I even saw a guy who was level 4,202, And I looked at that, I was like, this guy must be cheating. 4,202. That is just straight cheat bull crap. And I actually took the time to look it up because I wanted to see what the level cap was, and because I thought the guy was cheating. And I looked on Google, searched a little while. I found an article, and basically the level cap for the game, which is, I think it's like 60, not, I think it's like 40% lower than the level cap in the first one was. The level cap in Two Worlds 2 is 37,262. Why did they make it that high? I don't know. I don't think they expect anybody to even get that high. But I'm just saying, there's people who play this game on a daily basis, like any other game. Like there are games that just have that main fan base that'll just keep playing it over and over and over. And I have no problems with that, but the game allows you to make like 5 different characters in the multiplayer section, and I thought that was cool, so you can have like multiple characters, different classes, because the game also separates classes and races and stuff like that, like you would see in a decent MMO. Like you get your class and you set up your race and create your character, and like Two Worlds 2 actually does a good job at it. You get 5 slots, you make 5 different characters, you go into the character creation. It's just like single player, except you can change your race. You can be a human, you can be an elf, a light elf or a dark elf, you can be a dwarf, half human, half dwarf, you can be a half human, half orc, and you can also play as female characters, even though you couldn't do that in a single player, mainly because the character involves you having to be a male because you were a male in the first one. So just swapping to a female would kind of throw the game off in some way or other. But so you can set up your race, you can make your guy look different if you want, just like in the single player, and you also get to set up your class. So you can be like a single-handed weapon guy and just have like a sword. You can have a sword and a shield, or any type of single-handed weapon and a shield. You can dual wield your weapons if you want. You can have 2-handed weapons. You can be an archer, or you can be any of the 4 types of mages. And I thought that was cool, because then it would have like, while you're playing, it would be, you could be an archer and you could be playing with your friend, he could be a mage. So it's like when you play with people, it'll be different. Everybody would have to work together because you can't control all the elements and all the different skills and all of that, because depending on what you pick as your class, that'll determine what skills you acquire. Because everybody doesn't use the same skills. Like if you're a mage, you're not gonna have weapon skills involving swords and shields and stuff like that. But I thought it was cool, because then when you play, it's a different experience, unless everybody plays as the same character, which would suck. So like I could be an archer, and then you got the mage, and he's got to be the healer guy, and then you got your sword guy who just runs in and kills everything. And I thought that would be cool. And when I finally played the game and tried to play the multiplayer, I was just discouraged because everybody was such a high level, and I kept getting kicked out of lobbies. I join a lobby and go, hey, how's it going? And then insta kick, just insta kick. But one of these days I'm gonna play that multiplayer. I'm gonna try it out, and but from what I've seen from the character creation and whatnot, it's pretty damn cool. And as soon as I get the chance, I'm gonna play it. But until then, I'm gonna be stumped. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this update. I hope it informed you on what I had to talk about, Let's Plays and stuff like that. I will see you guys next time.